Minardo Blade! I'm really failing it! What could possibly go wrong? Oh yes, I'm pleased to say that all the voices of the United Kingdom of Britannia are back. From our main protagonist from Lancashire, to our other driver who has an affinity for sheep, she's from Wales, to the guards that are Scottish. So, being British, of course, that makes the story even more enjoyable, as it's nice to hear some Welsh and other British in the games every now and again, over the copy-paste main protagonist that is usually 90% American. However, mute the fuckers in combat. Like, after a while, I felt like Ragtag.
Oh, he's a chatty motherfucker. He's talking a lot. I'm going to adjust the volume in just a little sec. Shouldn't affect you too much. You don't need to tell people that they've been revived either. Held and sterben nicht. Everyone knows what that means. Oh, and you can use it. And you can stop your fucking yabbering, for God's sake. I'm not listening to it anymore. No one wants to hear you talk. That's the end of that.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have to give me a running commentary on every single little tiny insignificant thing you do. Like if Pyra every once in a while said wash your health or your ultimate is ready, it would be fine, but they never stop. And adding to this, during the second chapter, you get a Pon, who in cutscenes is okay, but in combat is Jar Jar Binks on speed, fucking your ear with a sandpaper condom. And when you have 3 party members all screaming, and the enemies also shouting, well, the level 6.
Don't forget me. You can take me.
Oh, I feel so bad for you.
Don't forget me. Think you can take me. Yeah. Don't forget me. You can take me. You can take me. Don't forget me. Think you can take me.
Think you can take me?
Think you can take me. Don't forget me. Think you can take me.
Friendship.
Think you can take me. Don't forget me. Think you can take me.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Remember in Bubsy's new game where there was settings like some quips, half Bobcat, lots of jokes, or the Bubsy experience? Well, when voices in combat are on, it's the Bubsy experience. So I would highly recommend mute Bobcat. I mean, listen to the difference with it on.
Yeah! Don't forget you can take me! You can take me! Don't forget me! Think you can take me!
Think you can take me?
Think you can take me! Don't forget me! Think you can take me!
And off. Right, anyway, I think it's about time to kill this man. Moon, you just gotta get blob money and then everything will be better. Ah, so much better. I can actually hear the music now. Speaking of which... it's phenomenal. We've got our local Kingdom Hearts composer stopping by while we wait for Kingdom Hearts 3. It's never gonna come out. And when he puts out genuine bangers like Simple and Clean, or this... you know you're in for a good time, and we get some good shit like this. This. And this. Actual bangers. Not much more to be said on that, but another soundtrack of the year. So, moving swiftly on. So just a quick cut back to the characters for a moment though. I have to say, I really love the designs for most of them, as the blades in particular are done by different artists, or at least the concept art is. Like, Pyra is your more traditional spandex bodysuit with slight armoured girl, like Lightning or Tifa. Your Final Fantasy artist, as Square Enix did have a hand in this, and the Chimera Kitsune girl that is in the Pokédex is more along the lines of a King of Fighters-esque art to the amazing Blob Bunny Boreas that has more of a Pokemon art style in the manual. And what I really love is everyone who is either a character or a blade has their own story as well to give you a bit more of a background on them. Like, a blade I got early on, Cosmos, is from the original game, Xenoblade. Think of it like Dark Souls, Demon's Souls. Like, it was originally called Demons, and then they changed it to Dark. Same here, it was originally called Xenoblade, and then they renamed it to Xenoblade. But anyway, Cosmos is from Xenoblade, and she has her own story about how she got here and so forth. All of the rare blades do, including the Blob Bunny that's just amazing. And, if you're wondering, yes, she is voiced by a girl and referenced to as a girl, so she is still a waifu. And even more fun fact, did you know that the girl that voices Boreas is the same girl that voices Bridget, the Fire Lady? So, just imagine this, dressed up as a fat bunny. You won't look at her the same way again, will you? And this is great, as they're not just waifus to collect, but they're actually real people that have their own stories to tell. So it adds an extra layer to the world that makes it feel even more alive than it already is. Even the villains themselves are clearly enjoying their roles and getting into their roles, like the fat 17th century aristocrat that... No, they didn't. But look at that fat face and the way that the facial structure itself, and the big poofy hair that stands up and the makeup. It's a spitting image.
This is a real hardcore game!
Duke Defon the Hardcore. Video game!
Just like the old run and gun games for the Super Nintendo. It is where it belongs! It has to be that hard!
Monolith, you watching something while making this guy? It's okay, you can tell. One thing, however, that does break the immersion slightly is the attack of the clones, as Nia, Welsh Cat Lady's dad, is this big guy with a lion's mane. Oh, who is also that guy's dad. And is a random dude behind him. And this guy in the cutscene. The same dude 4 times, and if we look at this picture, the same guy is in the shot with himself. So it's clear where all the work went, and that's into the main characters like Pyra, the blades like the Blob Bunny, and all of the fantastically designed monsters out in the wild. So corners had to be cut somewhere, and if you're not a main character, then you're getting copied and copied over and over. So Tora's Uncle Pon is also a farmer and a test pilot and 20 other no-pon walking around the town. And if you're even more of a sub character, like not even related to the main cast in any way, like Nia's dad or Uncle Pon, then you're not even going to get properly rendered. Like, we are talking your basic male or female directly from the asset store. No facial changes, no hair, nothing. So we get basic asset man with sunglasses as a bouncer that now just looks a bit like Morpheus. It's locked from the other side. Hello, Morpheus.
You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
And basic asset man diver. Oh my god. I just realised who he is. Basic asset man, bald, no facial changes. It's the getting over it cauldron man. Well, shit. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe these asset men have a story to tell. I mean, this is getting over it, man. This is a prequel. I mean, he is a salvager. But one day, while salvaging in the cloud sea, something went wrong. And he got stuck in a sunken old cauldron and was never seen again. Washing up on the shores with naught but a hammer. And now he must climb the mountain and ascend to Elysium to be freed, the endless field of green above the clouds. Speaking of which... it's really engaging, kind of. As I said, the characters and their interactions with each other on this journey really makes it compelling and makes me want to go on and see what happens next. And each of the side stories of the Blades, again, add to holding your journey together. But it's very Kingdom Hearts-like and extremely predictable, and to a point, memeable. Like, we are an average boy with nothing special about us. Gee, I wonder if we're destined for something greater. Spoilers. Yes, we are, because we get the legendary blade Pyra. And we are travelling with Gramps, him being a big, wise, cute mentor-like figure that we are getting an emotional attachment to. big cute thing that we are getting an emotional attachment to. I wonder if they're going to get an emotional rise out of us with it dying, like The Last Guardian and every fucking game that gives an emotional attachment, as the AAA game industry can only speak the language of death for emotions. Oh wow, I did not see that coming. And Guy being an asshole to us, I wonder if he's going to be a bad guy that we'll fight later. Oh, he's using the darkness, and old Gramps knows him. Yep, he's definitely an evil immortal vampire darkness man. Sorry sir, but you're dead. And sure enough, later on in the story, we do fight and kill the darkness man, as like every other predictable story like Kingdom Hearts and any other typical story of the elements, darkness is bad, light is good, light must always destroy the darkness, no matter what. So again, the Illusion of Time, Final Fantasy I and Hollow Knight are the only ones thus far to subvert that narrative, with it being like in Final Fantasy I, which casts strong hints at the concept where if the world is ever imbalanced, the opposing warriors will arise. Like, yes, we are playing as a warrior of light to stabilize the darkness, but then when the light gets too strong, warriors of darkness will arise to stabilize the light. Or indeed the Illusion of Time or Hollow Knight that takes that concept full on, where we play as a warrior of darkness or a dark vessel to seal the light. But here it is paint by numbers. Like the main story, we're on a quest to find the magical land of Elysium. I mean, no need, dude. It's on Steam for quite a decent price. As in Dust and Elysium Tale lives the Architect.
Everyone in Allrest lived on the tree, together with our divine father, the Architect.
I am the Architect. I created the Matrix. I've been waiting for you. You have many questions, and though the process has altered your consciousness, you remain irrevocably human. Ergo, some of my answers you will understand, and some of them you will not. Concordantly, while your first question may be the most pertinent, you may or may not realize it is also the most irrelevant.
Who, like his Matrix counterpart, got pissy at humans and cast them down from Elysium to live on the Titans' backs. And anyone that tries to go back to Elysium will get fucked by the king of all summons, the Leviathan. But the Titans are getting pissy and dropping back below the Cloud Sea, killing everyone on their backs. So we need to get back to Dust and Elysian Tale and convince the Architect to let everyone back in. Now, I won't spoil it for you, but I made a prediction of who the Architect was and why he was getting pissy at humans before watching the cutscene on YouTube, as I won't be getting there for like another 80 hours, so I did spoil that one cutscene for myself, but put it this way, I was right in everything, and everything I predicted, like who he was and why he was pissy, came true. So while I won't spoil it for you, if you have ever played any paint by numbers RPG like Kingdom Hearts, then you've already worked it out. Without even me saying anything, you've already guessed who it is and what the reasoning is. The only one time my expectations were subverted was with the death of Gramps, where he did not die but regenerate, and I was like, oh shit, my expectations have been severely subverted. But let's face it, we know the real reason. Like, the subversion of expectation was a nice bonus, but you did it for the cosplayers. Like anyone cosplaying Rex or Pyra, they're going to get a plushie maker to make plushie Gramps to carry around in their helmet, or indeed in their hands, or a fursuit maker. And considering how popular Pokemon fursuits are, you know there's going to be a big fluffy plushie Gramps fursuit. The graphics are stunning. Like Breath of the Wild, we hit a nice mix of bright, colourful and cartoony colours with that good old cell shading to help with the processing of these giant lands, with no loading screens, so it's like Jak and Daxter 1, as well as the cartoony but realistic models of the characters and enemies, so basically anime style, which is basically Skyward Sword, but Skyward Sword done to a crazy HD quality, which is great, as that's why I love Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild over that piece of shit of Twilight Princess, as fantasy works best when you're embracing the colour palette it has to offer, not shitty gritty realistic colours that want to be dark and gritty for no other reason than Majora's Mask was dark, while failing to realise that A, you were never going to be as dark as Majora's Mask because you can't get away with shit like a little girl being raped by aliens anymore, and B, despite Majora's Mask being a dark, morbid game, it still used very bright colours, like a lot of colourful plants at Woodfall, a lot of colourful paint at Clocktown, and even Majora's Chamber was a psychedelic funhouse of colours. And as I said, Xenoblade 2 went for the former of Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild, with the full suite of colours while keeping the normal sized people over the chibis of Wind Waker, and it leads to not only fantastic models, of course, that we've talked about in the character area, but it leads to fantastic vistas, extremely colourful and creative monsters, and overall makes the main cast of characters feel more vibrant and stand out in the world in which they are in. And going to the vistas thing, like Xenoblade, why don't you have a camera mode? Like, yeah, I know most pictures would be of kawaii Pyra's arse, waifu Cosmos's arse, and of course senpai Boreas's arse. But come on, if you can draw your attention away from the arse and boobies for 2 seconds, very hard I know with cutscenes like this that directly focus on them areas. Yes. But if you can pull yourself away from that
Extra thick!
blob bunny ass for a moment, these landscapes are some of the nicest that the Switch has to offer. And if Mario can have a camera mode and Zelda can have a camera mode, this needs to have a camera mode. Like, just make it extra DLC with the season pass you're selling or something. So yeah, it's worth it for some of the stunning vistas and the visuals alone. Especially if it's these visuals. Oh, Boreas. That nice extra thick round ass. Oh, you're such a sexy girl. One of the most fun parts of the entire game. The gameplay is a vast open world like Skyrim or Breath of the Wild, with nary a loading screen in sight, barring entering a few buildings or special areas, but even then most are masked with a full-on cutscene or a heart-to-heart moment. And this is where the similarities between Breath of the Wild come to an end, and similarities between Skyrim continue a little bit, as battles and performing certain actions in battle and out of battle will award you with skill points, which you can use to level up your weapons, as well as skill points to make yourself stronger on your own specific skill tree. And then the blades themselves also get skill points because the blades themselves also have a specific skill tree, which you can again unlock by doing certain tasks with that particular blade, as well as picking up every random knick-knack along your way for sword upgrades, upgrading your own armor, and ingredients for cooking food that is basically like potion brewing that will, when eaten, give you a buff for a set amount of time, and so on. As for the combat itself, take that Nintendo Direct and throw it in the bin. It's way less complicated than they made out. Like, Nintendo was talking like, between your powers and blades, each one has a set affinity meter, and block cancelling cancels out the move but fills your arts ready for a paradigm shift. No, fuck that! Honestly, their explanation of the combat nearly put me off Xenoblade 2. It was so poorly explained. The combat is extremely simple and extremely fun. So, engaging in a battle makes you do an auto attack. You can freely move around the field while in battle to better reposition yourself to deal more damage from certain sides, or let the tank draw aggro so you can focus on healing them, or attacking while the baddies are preoccupied and focused on your tank. As you auto attack, meters will fill up, and once one is full you can perform an art. If you can perform an art just before landing the hit, you get a bit more of your ultimate than you normally would. With ultimates coming in 4 levels, so lower enemies you might just want to hit them with a level 1 ult for a quick dispatch, or if it's a boss or a stronger enemy you might want to save it till it becomes an ultimate level 2, 3 or 4 for massive damage and sometimes massive healing, or sometimes like Moira's Coalescence Beam, even both with Cosmos's level 2 ultimate. And while a few fights can drag a little, they only get more and more fun as you level up, and with the unique enemies they're there as a test of skill, as even if you are the same level, they will still be stronger because they can offer good and sometimes unique rewards. And of course, because Pyra is the burning sword of pettiness, as you can get your ass beat over and over by that level 17 burb that's flying around in the fields. But then you come back at level 1 or level 21, now who's beat? You dick? Yes, I am that petty. And one day, Harambe, all them times you've one-shot me, all them times you've randomly showed up, strike me down, Harambe, but in doing so, you're just increasing my grudge against you, and one day I will come back stronger than you could have ever imagined and show you why it was so easy to put that bullet in your head. Fuck you, Harambe. So, yeah, the combat is really fun and can get really addictive sometimes, especially because of the huge Final Fantasy Grand Pulse or Skyrim-like vistas that lay before me. Like, I should be doing the main quest, but oh, a side quest. Oh, what's over there? Oh, what's that thing? Oh, what's over there? Ooh, another thing. Hence, it took me 30 hours just to leave the first Titan alone. Like the one you end up on right after getting Pyra. So it does have that Breath of the Wild, Skyrim-like feel of, yeah, main story, but here's the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild and the College of Winterhold and a million other things to distract you. And like with Skyrim, I find that a good thing, as there is always something to do, always something to explore, always somewhere to go, if doing the main story just is not your bag baby, at that particular moment. So this is by far the worst part of the game, and the thing I despise the most about Xenoblade 2. If you can't tell by the transition screen, Xenoblade has engrams. Like Destiny 2, they are small crystals. Like Destiny 2, the crystals have markings all over them. And like Destiny 2, each of these crystals have a prize of altering value. Now, unlike Destiny 2, the prize is always the same in the form of the blade, but the blades have different rarities. You have these Warframe girls that are the extremely common ones that are the weakest and are pretty much worthless, and you're going to get an infinite amount of. Rares, like Blob Bunny Girl Boreas, that have a 50% chance to drop and have a single AUX slot. Epics, like Mercy, that have a 40% chance to drop and have 2 AUX slots. And of course, legendaries, that come with the best weapons in the game, have the best stats, and have the full 3 AUX slots for fantastic builds. But of course, it's purely random chance what you get. It's exactly like a loot box. Now, apparently you can influence it based on how much luck you have and these boosters. However, that is a total fucking lie. First, never use a booster ever. It lessens the chance. I've got more special blades without them than I ever did using them, so never use them because it's total bullshit. Second, luck is a bunch of balls. I have got a bunny collar that increases my luck by 21%. Shit, that's a lot. That's like 1/5 of 100%. And I'm still getting the same luck I was even without the bunny collar on. I think sometimes even less, as up until the first real boss, Duke Emile de Hardcore, I had nothing but common engrams, and of course common Warframe blades. But as Duke is defeated, finally my first rare engram that increases the chances of a rare blade spawning from 50% to 70%. Ooh, I wonder what it'll be. And well... Oh shit.
All systems operational. Are you my master?
Oh shit, she's turned into Farah. Oh shit, she's got...
You got the rarest one. I wanted this one! You got fucking Cosmos!
And who is Blade album? Who is Cosmo? She is the third. She is the third rarest, apparently.
So it seems that Spyro's got a hard to find one. Really hard to find one. Oh shoot! I almost knocked my lightning
thing.
That's the bunny one I got last night.
Well, we'll find out. Well, there we go. We got some Farah, dude.
There you go. You got that rare one. Now you're happy.
Well, I mean, because I had a rare crystal.
You're still gonna not give up on that. Now you gotta upgrade that, please.
Right, what have we got to do?
I saw this one. I want that one.
Perform a blade combo. Okay.
It's like a freaking... It's like an Aegis. So now...
No, she's a what's name? She's one of those. She's wearing one of those diva suits that controls the Gundams. She's a Gundam.
She's got 3 slots. 3 slots. 3 G slots. She got one. He got one of the freaking best ones. What the frick? Okay, you have to make the crystals, but you have 3.
What?
It's first rare.
You cannot equip this ox core. Why?
No, you have to like.
Oh, I get it. No, I understand. These are the shells, and I have to fill them at that shop. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
A bronze chip. Wait a minute. Pyra hasn't even got the bronze chip yet. What the fuck's a bronze chip?
Are you happy to on the winner's freaking blade?
Oh shit! She fucking. Oh, okay. We got a gun, boys. We got bright engram. We got a gun. It's just like Destiny. I actually don't know how to work this gun. She's also. What is this? Oh, okay, I just shot a nuke. Oh! Oh, okay, I shoot nuclear missile. Stuff. Photon. Oh, okay. Don't know what that did. Well, I didn't. I got the third best because there's still like fucking Super Dragon. No, I'm not. Nah, I'm not gonna say the best attack one because what of that giant fucking dragon? I mean, I'm gonna have to use Pyra right now because she's not that good. I'm gonna have to go to town and get some chips for her and level her up because.
I'm also gonna say that this light element you have that she has, you're not supposed to get light element until you get Pyra's other side.
Light element? What?
How do you get in the fortress where they're holding Nia?
The cutscene tells you. Wait, what? Light element? Oh, right, yeah, she's a light element, I see.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be a light element until in chapter, was it 3? It's 3.
I mean, I guess I've still got to use her, though. Because I need that trust up. I mean, who the fuck cares? They're only level 7s. Yeah, everyone freaked the fuck out at me getting a legendary out of my very first rare engram. And not just any legendary, but the second rarest and second most powerful blade in the game, surpassed only by what looks like a huge Bahamut dragon thing that even in the 10 days later, none of the 12 people I'm playing with have seen it so far, and nor will we look it up, as it'd be fun to see the design firsthand. Now, while I said it's fun to see what comes out, here's the problem. Like any loot box, it's weighted in the commons department, to the point where even a legendary engram, keep that in mind, the best engram in the game, that drastically raises the chance of a legendary, if not at least guarantees you an epic or rare, can still have a weighted percent to roll a common.
And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world.
What the fuck is that shit? And it makes it even worse as you see them flash before your eyes. So it's like, there's a special one, or there's another special one, and there's your common. Like, I did not even have to see it materialise. The shadow itself was enough to know I'd already lost. Oh, but don't worry. Here at Monolith, we'll never sell core crystals like those other companies do with loot boxes. They said before allowing you to buy some extra crystals with the season pass, giving you 10 commons, 10 rares, and of course the coveted legendary. Now this is only a one-time thing, you can't buy the season pass twice. However, this is how it starts, isn't it? Remember cosmetics like the bug skin and the robot skin in Ratchet and Clank? Originally, they were rewards, all cosmetic in the game to be unlocked by golden bolts or whatever. Again, all in game, but then it's like Dead Space 2, where oh, it's just a one-time payment for the skin. $5 gets you the ironclad skin. It's only a one-time payment. Yeah, but it was in the game for free before. And then, oh no, now you can no longer even buy the skin. You've got to gamble for it. I've had people like Moon Knight and Midnight be like, oh, but the season pass, it's a one-time thing. It gives you extras like Pyra's Generos AT and shit. And Nintendo are really good with the season passes like the Breath of the Wild one. Yeah, okay. But again, as mentioned above, Dead Space 1, all in-game, no bullshit. Dead Space 2, oh, you can buy the skin. It's just a one-time thing. It's like the season pass. It's just a one-time thing. Dead Space 3, microtransactioned to shit. This is how it always starts. But Spyro, Monolith are not EA. Monolith are not Activision. Don't care. When you're putting a roulette wheel, as in these crystals are fucking roulette wheels, well, I'm fucking watching you, Monolith. I'm watching you. Because, all in all, it's actually better to get commons, as if you pull something out of a common, it feels more fun. Whereas if you pull a common out of a fucking legendary crystal, as I've shown several times before and show again, you feel like shit. I mean, honestly, there was no need for this tier bollocks on the crystals. Like, yes, you could have had your rare, epic and legendary blades, but just call it a core crystal. No common crystals, no rare crystals, no legendary crystals, because it just makes them more loot boxy than they have to be. They're already a random roulette wheel. I don't need you to tier my roulette wheel, thanks. A single crystal with an equal chance to get everything would have been fine. But as I said, they still feel like a loot box, especially with the previews you get, because it's like, oh, the wheel's spinning, oh look, there's a rare, oh, there's a legendary, oh, too bad, roll number 3 was a common, guess you'll have to get more, which we can help with for a bit of extra cash. It already has the feel of these nasty little boxes, as once I pulled Cosmos out of the first rare crystal, guess who grinded non-stop, not even really sleeping, to get Cosmos? Doesn't matter. The point is, they got addicted to the idea of pulling Cosmos. Like, I just need to kill one more enemy and get one more crystal. This will be the crystal. It will. It will. It will! It's already got the addictive nature of a loot box with its haves and have-nots mindset. It's got the perfect pull for those with an addictive mindset, and due to the tiering of the engrams, it's got the feel of them fucking boxes. And the fact that you can buy a set of them with an expansion pass brings up red flags. Again, you don't have to, but people will buy the pass just for a few more spins, and I know one person that did buy the pass for a few more spins, so it would be very, very easy to monetize this. Oh, you can get 20 common engrams for $10, or you can get 10 rare crystals for $10 or $12. You haven't, but again, I've seen this road 100 times before. This is how it always starts. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if in Xenoblade Chronicles 3, if it was fucking monetized. Because, again, like Dead Space, Xenoblade 1, you could get it all in game. Xenoblade 2, oh, it's just a one-time payment. It's nothing big, it's just a one-time payment. This is how it always starts. So, you know, good job having some fucking self-restraint, Monolith. But the fact that you can buy a set of these with the season pass, you're in dangerous waters. And I'm watching you, right? And if you fucking dare put buyable engrams in this game or Xenoblade 3, I will be on you like a swarm of fucking hornets. Remember, Monolith, I'm watching you. I'm always watching you, dicks. Oh, and as a little extra endpoint to this post-editing, another excuse was, I just want to support the developer. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm completely fine with you supporting the developer. But why not do it in a month's time when they have something to show for it? Because right now they've got nothing to show for it. And if they really, really were that needy of the season pass money, why did you make it loot boxes? Oh, that's right, because everybody buys fucking loot boxes. Like, you could have easily made the DLC season pass thing, and you could have offered anything else. You could have offered a new unique blade exclusive to the DLC. You could have offered an alternate costume like Pyra dressed up as a ballerina. You could have offered anything, but you picked loot boxes because that's the thing that everybody goes for, and that's the thing that drew it in. And as much as everybody's like, I just want to support the developer, bullshit, you wanted to support the developer. So, right, would you have honestly give them the $30 if it came with nothing? If it was just a season pass, literally hopes and dreams, and you're like, I just want to support them. If it didn't come with the 50,000 gold, if it didn't come with any of the items, but especially if it didn't come with the loot boxes, would you have still given $30? No, you fucking wouldn't have. You would have waited till the content was out. But because there's some engrams that'll give me some more spins, I'm going to fucking get the season pass. So pull the fucking other one, like people that are saying that, and also pull the fucking other one, Monolith. You did not need, you had no excuse to add those fucking crystals to the season pass, but you added them because, like every other fucking AAA company, you know that people will buy that fucking season pass just for the boxes. So don't try and spin it any which other way, Monolith, because that's what you did. You know what you did. So pull the fucking other one.
How far would I be walking till I reach the end? The end of the path is to be seen. I would keep thinking, questioning to my
So, my final verdict for Xenoblade 2 is a resounding 4 out of 5. The only point I'm knocking off is for the engrams, as there was no need to implement them in the way that you did. Like commons, I get it. Random chance. But even then, it's still a gambling box. It's still a bright engram. But the fact you can still get commons out of fucking legendary core crystals, no, that's just scummy. And that shows that even if you didn't do it, at one point you were thinking about monetizing this system. But beyond that, everything else is great. As long as the battle voices are off to save you from the Bubsy experience, it's an absolutely fantastic game. The story is compelling enough to make me want to go on. The characters really pull it through and shine. The graphics are really nicely done and make me want to pull a Skyrim or Breath of the Wild and fuck the main quest and go exploring. Hence it took me 30 hours just to get off the very first Titan, the one right after the tutorial where you get Pyra. And the combat, while slightly advanced, is still easy enough to learn and master pretty quickly. And it's also fun, making me want to engage in battles, rather than Breath of the Wild's shit combat system where I don't want to, because even the champion weapons and the master sword is made of glass and cum and breaks every 2 seconds. You see, Breath of the Wild? My weapons don't break in Xenoblade, and it's fun. Was it really that hard? Did you really need to add a weapon degradation system? No, you didn't. And while I don't like the idea of a season pass, nor would ever buy one off any of the other scum like Ubisoft, Activision or EA, Nintendo, as they did with Breath of the Wild, have proven that they A, made a fantastic game that did not slice out any content for later, so we know we're getting the complete package right off the bat, and B, made a fantastic game that is enjoyable, so I am more willing to support it more. So, I'm more willing to give them the money for the Season Pass. You see, AAA, it's not that hard, is it? You just make a full, complete game, then maybe people will be more willing to part with their Season Pass money because you've already given them a full, complete, great experience, rather than carving out costumes and cosmetics and other shit for your gambling boxes and extra DLC, as well as, you know, just carving out the main content that was clearly already finished for a Season Pass. So, good work, Nintendo and Monolith. Aside from the engram roulette, you did a fantastic job, and it will be great to see all the cosplay that will spawn from this, from the waifus of Pyra and Fire Lady to the fursuits of Plushy Gramps and such. Also, just in, as I end this game, it's actually a 10 out of 5 Masterpiece Game of the Year, and all negatives are automatically removed because of the extra thick Blob Bunny Boreas, who is truly the greatest of all the waifus, and we all want that Blob Bunny ass. Oh, Boreas. Oh, Boreas, you're so cute and adorable. You look so good. You're such a sexy girl. Oh, I love you, Boreas.